Welcome back to First Take. Yesterday, news broke that the Bills were moving on from head coach Sean McDermott after another loss in the playoffs. McDermott coached Buffalo for 9 seasons, including 8 with Josh Allen as his quarterback, but failed to take his team to the Super Bowl. McDermott finished his tenure with a 98-50 record and an 8-8 mark in the postseason. Now, with the firing of McDermott, the Bills became the 10th NFL team this offseason with a head coaching vacancy, which also the Baltimore Ravens. That means the last 2 NFL MVPs will have new coaches next season.
Wow.
Jeff Saturday on the set joining us. SA's in Miami. Chris Canty here as well. Canty,
yes, he is.
We're going to begin with you on this one. I'm curious, better job opening right now, the head coach of Josh Allen or the head coach of Lamar Jackson?
Oh, the head coach of Lamar Jackson. To me, you got an organization that already has championship pedigree. You got an owner in Steve Bisciotti that has hardware in the trophy case. So that's a great place to start. The Baltimore Ravens into future years have more salary cap flexibility. They're about the same when it comes to draft picks that they have over the next 3-year span. But when I do a deep dive and look at both of these opportunities, to me, it just seems like the one in Baltimore presents itself as the better of the two because there is a lower bar to clear when it comes to competition in the division. The New England Patriots with Drake May and Mike Vrabel ain't going nowhere. Conversely, the lone survivor in the AFC North when it comes to head coaches is Zach Taylor, and he's going into the final year of his contract. So I just feel like if you're the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, there is a better opportunity for you to have division supremacy than with the Buffalo Bills. And, of course, we all know that winning your division is the most surest path to being able to punch your ticket to the postseason.
Stephen A., do you see it the same way?
Go ahead, Sergeant. No. I'm going to wait to listen to Sergeant Friday and hear what he has to say.
I was going to start and just say how shocked I was that a former Baltimore Raven said the Baltimore Ravens job was the best job. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't see that coming. You know? No, listen, I understand.
Sort of like you with North Carolina. Sort of like you with North Carolina or the Indianapolis Colts.
Exactly. Hey, listen, I'm with you 100%. I mean, listen, we got bias, and I'm with it. Unfortunately, I disagree. I think Buffalo is the job here for me. When I think about the Bills, their offensive line, Josh Allen, you put one and give them 2 good receivers with Josh Allen, which are much easier to find, in my opinion, than retooling an offensive line. I think Baltimore struggled offensive line-wise. I thought they struggled defensive line-wise. And I think when you look at Buffalo, obviously you had the injuries. Milano's probably not ever going to be the player he once was, right? That's done. But they got some young talent up front. They got to get healthy. So I like that. And this is the first year, honestly, I thought Buffalo's defense didn't improve as the season went on, right? They kind of stayed flat. They really weren't who you expected them to be. Ultimately, probably what ended up costing Sean McDermott his job, right, is that they kind of couldn't get over the hump. But when you look at Josh Allen and where they are, I think that James Cook, with him, with the offensive line, with their ability now, the Patriots is a good point, and I will say it's an interesting point. They also had the easiest schedule in the NFL, and they took full advantage of it, which I respect. But you and I both know that schedule going from that to the one is going to make it much more difficult for the Patriots. Now, I love Drake May. He's a target.
I'm about to say, are you fading Mike Vrabel and Drake May?
Absolutely not.
Where are we going with
but
this,
I'm just saying, don't act like that's going to be a cakewalk, right? Like just walking through. Buffalo has a good team that they can put up a competition against the Patriots. So I'm leaning that way with the Buffalo Bills.
Stephen A.
Well, Sergeant Friday is wrong. No surprise there.
Oh, my goodness.
We're accustomed to seeing
I just walk out.
Here's the deal, y'all. Listen, when we look at the Buffalo Bills, right? You know, obviously their run defense was horrid. They got to improve that. Obviously, they got to improve their receiving corps. And I'm holding that against the GM who ultimately gets promoted to president on the day he fires the head coach, okay, as if he did his job, which just blows me away. Go get Jalen Waddle. Get him before the NFL trading deadline, and guess what? You might still be playing this week. How you missed that one, okay? I mean, and listen, if they're asking for some stuff and you absolutely positively cannot give it, that's something different. But to sit up there and to know that the Miami Dolphins wanted a first-round pick in 2026, and you holding out because you wanted to give it up in 2027. Now, what kind of damn sense does that make? Is tomorrow guaranteed? Anything could happen to Josh Allen. You don't do that. When you have an opportunity, you capitalize off of it. I'm not saying Bean should have been fired. I'm not saying he's some awful executive or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that McDermott's a hell of a coach. They went to the playoffs the last 7 years, okay? They've been to a couple of AFC title games. The only reason they didn't go to a Super Bowl was because Patrick Mahomes was standing in their way along with Andy Reid. And for him to be going and Bean to still be there, as far as I'm concerned, they both stay or they both go.
Agreed.
Even though Bean obviously didn't hire McDermott, and Bean ultimately probably wants his own guy. I just don't like it. And that would be one of the factors that resonates with me, because I think McDermott was scapegoated, and I wouldn't want to work for somebody like that. That's number one. Number two, we all know that Lamar Jackson is an MVP caliber player. He's one of the top 5 players in the National Football League when fully healthy. I know you love James Cook, but I love Derrick Henry more, Sergeant Friday. I just do. I just do. And so I love Derrick Henry a little bit more. And then the structure of the Ravens organization that you both alluded to is something that I think is a plus. You understand? And so I'm looking at it from that standpoint. Yeah, you got Buffalo. They've had in the last 8 years, they've won 8 playoff games. In the last 8 years, Baltimore's won 3 playoff games. That's a big-time discrepancy.
Yeah.
Something's got to give. They're saying, okay, we're going in a different direction than Harbaugh. We probably shouldn't have let McDonald get out of the building and go to Seattle. We probably should have elevated him so he never had to leave. All of those things come into play. But in the end, I think Baltimore is a better situation because I think Bean has given you cause to pause and raise your eyebrow about what's going on in Buffalo. And we don't have such things to consider in Baltimore.
Yeah, you know what? That I will say that is a great point about Bean. Here is my only kind of pushback on the Bean thing is if depending on who they bring in, I will be interested if this comes down to the Liam Cohen deal in Jacksonville, where the head coach that they want walks in and goes, hey, I can't do it this way. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you make a great point. And honestly, I'm pretty sure McDermott was part of the hiring process for Bean, right? Like they had Whaley first.
Bean was there first.
Oh, he was before McDermott.
Bean was before
okay,
McDermott.
Okay, I thought it was McDermott and Whaley first.
No.
And then, okay, so I didn't realize. I thought it was the other way.
To highlight the Bean point, all right, since Josh Allen came into the league in 2018, he's played 8 seasons. Bean has helped draft 2 guys who made the Pro Bowl.
Brutal.
James Cook and Dawson Knox, the tight end. To put that in comparison, Philly has 4 guys this year that went to the Pro Bowl that were drafted by Howie Roseman. 4 this year versus an organization that since Josh Allen entered, they have drafted 2 Pro Bowlers.
Agreed.
So that's a problem if he's going to continue to be making these decisions because you really only have 2 guys. Go ahead, Stephen A.
But see, to me, where it really smells, Joe and fellas, the rest of y'all, it's not just that. It's the fact that he got promoted.
Yeah.
See, that's what really like it's bad enough McDermott goes out of McDermott was 73 and 27. He won 73% of his games in the last 6 years. More than anybody in the National Football League. You know you need help. You know your star, Josh Allen, needs help. You don't go get it for him. You actually regress from a talent perspective based off of what you had a couple of years ago compared to what you have now. And then you fire the head coach. But not only you fire the head coach, you get promoted to president?
Right.
That's the kind of stuff that really, it's like, wait a minute. We got total faith in you, even with what Joe Fortenbaugh just pointed out, with 2 Pro Bowlers since you've arrived, and that's about it. We got total faith in you, but we don't believe in this coach anymore. Really?
Yeah.
That's what y'all have deduced from all of this? And then you see the players coming out and speaking, Jordan Phillips and others speaking out on behalf of McDermott, how they're sick, how it was awful, how much of a great coach he is. The person I want to hear from is Josh Allen, because I got to tell you, I don't think a decision, I don't know this at all, but I believe a decision of this magnitude cannot be made without you getting some thoughts from Josh Allen ahead of time. So it's really going to be interesting to hear what he has to say about McDermott's departure. And obviously, we're going to keep a watchful eye on who's the next head coach for the Buffalo Bills going to be.
Quick clarification, McDermott was there before Brendan.
Yes, he was.
We wanted to get that
Okay, that's
clarification.
what I thought.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I think McDermott helped bring Bean in.
We're going to get you a title belt, put it right on the shoulder.
There you go.
He's dominating today.
It's not a shock. I'm right. I just want to make sure everybody else knows.
I actually said it. I actually said it in my soliloquy before you spoke, but that's okay.
Oh, my
Must have
God.
missed that.
Here we go.
Must have missed that part.
I slept through that soliloquy. You know what I mean?
CC jumped back in.
Well, here's the thing. Here's where Stephen A. is wrong, per usual. I don't give a damn what Josh Allen has to say about Sean McDermott or any of the players have to say, because they had their opportunity to have their say on the field on Saturday afternoon, and their quarterback spit the bit. The reason why their team—
misconstruing what I said.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Clarify for America.
No, what I'm saying, I'm not saying, I agree with you. They haven't won. Who the hell are they? You understand? I get that part. What I'm saying is, because the decision is so important, it's hard to imagine that they just made it without talking to Josh Allen. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying I can't believe that the Buffalo Bills as an organization made this decision with Josh Allen being shocked and having no idea that it was coming, like the other players expressed yesterday.
Stephen A., here's why the Pagula family can do that. Since 2019, the Bills have the most wins in a 7-season stretch without a Super Bowl appearance, including the playoffs. The Bills became the fourth team in the Super Bowl era to win a playoff game in 6 straight seasons. The previous 3 all won Super Bowls during that span. That's why the Pagulas, that's why ownership would be justified in making the decision to fire Sean McDermott without talking to that $300 million quarterback, without consulting any of the players on the roster.
I'm not saying they wouldn't be justified. I'm saying, knowing what you know about football and how organizations operate, I'm asking you, do you believe that the Buffalo Bills made that decision and Josh Allen never saw it coming and he's totally shocked and had nothing to do with the